Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I have one exercise. If A plus B plus C equals 0, find the values of expression A squared plus B squared plus C squared all squares divided by A squared times B squared plus B squared times C squared plus C squared times A squared. Do you know how to solve this? If you know, please do it. When you do it already, please come back to watch my video from begin to the end to verify your solution. And before we go to the solution, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more exciting video. Okay, now we go to the solution together. Okay, now this, to find the value of this expression, we use this equation. Now from A plus B plus C is equal 0. So now this, I write both sides of this equation to square. In this, I get A plus B plus C all squares equal 0. And this, we use the formulas that if A plus B plus C all squares, we get A squares plus B squares plus C squares plus 2AB plus 2BC plus 2CA equal 0. And now this, I take 2's out of factors. So it's equal A squares plus B squares plus C squares plus 2's and multiply AB's plus BC's plus CA equal 0. And then now this, I change this term to the right hand side. So I get A squared plus B squared plus C squared equals minus 2 and multiply AB plus BC plus CA. And now this, I replace it to this expression. So now this, we get A squared plus B squared plus C squared and divide by this all squares divided by A squared B squared plus B squared C squared plus C squared A squared. This equals minus 2 and multiply AB plus BC plus CA all squares and divide by this A squared B squared plus B squared C squared plus C squared A squared. And this is equal this minus square we get plus and 2 square we get 4. And this is equal A squares and B squares and plus this B square and C squares and plus this C squares and A square and plus these 2 multiply of this term, we get a B squared C plus this 2 A B C squared and plus these 2 A squared BC. Okay, now divide by this A squared plus B squared and plus C squared. Sorry, this A squared B squared and this B squared C squared and this C squared A squared. And so now this, we see this, I can write it false. This A squared B squared plus B squared C squared and plus C squared A squared, and this I take 2 out of factors. So this we get 2 and this A B C's and multiply this B's and plus C and plus A. Okay, now this divide by A squared B squared plus B squared C squared and plus C squared A squared. And this we see is this A plus B plus C. We know that A plus B plus C is equal 0. So now this we replace by 0. And zeros multiply of this, we get 0. So now this equal 4. I multiply this A squared B squared and plus B squared C squared and plus C squared A squared. and divide by this a squared b squared plus b squared c squared plus c squared a squared. And now we simplify out this, we get is equal 4. So now, thus, expression a squared plus b squared plus c squared all squares and divide by a squared b squared plus b squared c squared plus c squared a squared is equal 4 is our solution. Thank you for watching. If you like my videos, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more exciting video. Goodbye.